All right, from Cyclone Stadium at Eastern View High School and inside the press box here at Cyclone Stadium, welcome to our pregame show tonight as we prepare for tonight's matchup between the host Cyclones and the visiting Spotsylvania Knights. I'm Mark O'Connell, joined as always by Steve Peacock. And Steve, we get a chance now to see Spotsylvania for the second week in a row. We saw them play last week against Culpeper. Tonight they play Eastern View. I suppose that regardless of who they play, they present somewhat of a unique challenge to the opposing defense in the sense that they run the single wing.
That's right, Mark. I mean, they're going to bring what they brought last week against Culpeper. They got a good quarterback in Christopher who can run it, and he can throw when needed. They have that John Edward Baton, I believe Benton, who's also a good runner. They only need a crease on a single wing. You don't have to be overpowering with your blocks from an offensive line standpoint. But what you've got to be able to do for Eastern View's got to do is make sure they stay home with their assignments and be led. I get Brett Clatterbaugh and company is going to have to go in there and just play gap football and find the football. So basically, you want to tell your defensive line, which is strong for Eastern View, is to occupy those up front or try to overpower them and kind of jam up the lanes, so then the linebackers can make the tackle. It's going to be great. I think a fun game because it's going to be so contrasting styles. You're going to see a pro offense basically with Eastern View kinds of runs versus, the single wing. And again, if you don't see it all the time, you don't practice against it all the time, it can be a very hard offense to defense.
And a hard defense to simulate and practice as you prepare for it. And I was going to ask you, and you've already alluded to it, we know that Braden Walker and Brett Clatterbaugh are really the stalwarts of this Eastern View defense. These are a couple guys that are in on a lot of plays. They both have a really good sense for where the ball is going to be. They both play aggressively. Is there any additional or special assignment for them tonight, thinking that they're going against a single wing?
Well, their biggest thing they're going to have to do is, like I already said, is gap football. Man, stay in your lanes. Watch that football. Be aware that Christopher is a threat to throw it at any time. And pick up on your keys of the game. See which way they're leaning or going. If you see it before and you study it on film, trust your coaches, and they've got you that they have prepared you well for this game.
And Eastern View certainly well aware of how last week's game between Spotsylvania and Culpeper played out. Obviously, Culpeper had some chances, and they just weren't able to get it done. But I want to talk about both teams. So Eastern View comes into tonight's game with a record of 6 wins against only 1 loss. In fact, Steve, the Cyclones are riding a 3-game winning streak. They haven't lost since their only loss of the season back on September 16 here against Brook Point. Spotsylvania even its record with the win over Culpeper last week, and so they're 3-3 on the year. And but I know that Eastern View wants to keep it going, and they never want to look ahead. But you got to get past this team tonight, and if they do, it's certainly going to set up a big showdown next week against King George.
Well, here's the interesting tidbit. Spotsylvania has a 3-game winning streak against Eastern View.
Wow.
Since from 2018 and forward. It was in 2018, 2020, and 21.
All right, so anything can happen. But if you're coaching both teams tonight, give us a perspective. If you're coaching Spotsylvania, knowing what you know about Eastern View, defense and offense, what are the keys to success tonight if you're the Knights?
The Knights is basically get pressure on DeMaio Hunter tonight. That's what they're going to have to do. And they're going to have to really play against the pass, and their secondary better be up to the task. I think that's a weak point a little bit of their defense. But they have Christopher back there. He's their strong safety. So he's going to be quarterbacking not only on offense but on defense.
Well, Steve, looking forward to calling the game with you tonight. And again, we see Spotsylvania for the second week in a row. So we're already familiar with some of their players. And some of those names we're going to be calling tonight are John Ed Benton, Mason Christopher, you mentioned him, Matt Moore, and Tyson Anderson, to name a few. But Eastern View's got a lot of players to mention as well. We've already talked about Brett Clatterbaugh, Braden Walker on defense, DeMaio Hunter on offense. He had a big game last week. Is he either throwing for touchdowns or running for them?
He sure did. And then, compliment was Darius Stafford. And so I expect a big game for him tonight. I expect the offensive line for Eastern View if they can get off a drive off, if they get the ball and they take it, they can sustain some long drives. That's going to bode well because then they'll be able to tire Spotsylvania out. They got a lot of two-way players.
All right. Well, tonight it's the Cyclones of Eastern View playing host to the Knights of Spotsylvania. We'll have all the exciting action coming your way shortly. Right now, we hope you enjoyed the pregame. We'll take a break, and we'll come back when team captains meet in the center of the field for tonight's coin toss. Stay tuned. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Cyclones Stadium at Eastern View High School for tonight's broadcast of Cyclones football. As the Cyclones play host to the Spotsylvania Knights, I'm Mark O'Connell, alongside Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk up behind the camera, of course, Nicole Wooten back in the studio, and Steve, we are here in the middle part of October and right in the thick of football season, really past the midway point. Eastern View certainly looking to continue its winning ways. Like I say, 3-game winning streak. Spotsylvania. Where do you see both teams standing in the as we look ahead?
Well, I think Eastern View is more talented athletically. I see them winning tonight as long as they keep the penalties to a minimum and don't commit any stupid turnovers. I think they can beat Spotsylvania. Spotsylvania, like I said, they've won 3 straight times against Eastern View, so Eastern View's got a little chip on their shoulder, so they can get maybe some little revenge back. But I'm looking for a good game. Eastern View is going to, like I said, try to solve that single wing offense, and on the reverse, Spotsylvania, they're going to try to come in here and pull the upset. They want ball control just as much as Eastern View, and where they want to do it though is with deception, faking, and basically the defense, the front line has got to make sure they stay in those creases, and just a little bit of a crease can spring some of those running backs, especially that small one, John Ed Benton. And if he gets loose, that could not bode well for the Cyclones.
John Ed Benton of Spotsylvania ran well for the Knights last week against Culpeper. Mason Christopher did a good job for them, and they also used Matt Moore, Tyson Anderson as well. So Brett Clatterball, Braden Walker, and the Cyclone defense will get a look at the single wing tonight. Maybe the only time they'll see it this season. So they've certainly worked in practice on that, and we're about ready for the team captains to come to the center of the field. For the Cyclones, left or right will be number 50, Braden Walker, at number 9, Xavier Carr. Number 2 is Jaden Williams, and number 22, Brett Clatterball. He's gone through some jersey numeric changes this season.
Well, he's such a hard-nosed player. He gets them, they get ripped, and so
makes you wonder if they're getting ripped if someone's holding him to try to prevent him from doing what he wants to do.
Exactly. So it's again, what I'm thinking tonight is if Eastern View just takes care of business up front, mainly the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, I think they can come out pretty good with a win here. And again, in Spotsylvania, though, they're coming on a little bit of a win streak. They like to go 2-0 against the schools from Culpeper County. And right now, it's going to be, and I think the other key is going to be DeMaio Hunter. How he plays at the quarterback. He's a cool cucumber back there. He's not had a turnover, knock on wood, or he's not thrown an interception all season long. He's up in the top 5 in the Fredericksburg Freelance Star ratings of other area quarterbacks. And again, they have to, the offense goes how he goes. So it's going to be very fun and to see what Spotsylvania is going to try to do defensively against this Eastern View offense.
If you're 7 games into the season, as the Cyclones are, you mentioned they're 6-1, your quarterback DeMaio Hunter is yet to throw an interception. That says something.
Yeah, I mean, that means that, he takes care of the football. And that's how big an asset is to the head coach, knowing that your quarterback, your leader out there, is not going to turn the ball over. That just, the confidence it just gives the quarterback is tremendous.
It's like Eastern View won the toss and opted to defer. So Spotsylvania will be receiving this opening kickoff. We'll start things here momentarily. Of course, the kicker for Eastern View is Braden Capolini.
And he is leading the Freelance Star kickers of all of schools in the Freelance Stars. Capolini has made field goals and extra points.
And do you know off the top of your head his longest of the season? I wanted to say it was 31. Is it more than that?
I think it's 40.
Is it 40?
And but he has got, so many extra points, and I hate to jinx it, boy, but he hasn't missed an extra point all season.
Well, let's don't tell him we said that then.
No.
I don't think he can hear us from up here anyway, Steve.
Yeah, but he can rewatch the broadcast, and it might not. Hopefully he'll go, let's just forget about it.
Well, Spotsylvania has 3 return men sort of lined up in a row back there deep, and in the middle of that is John Ed Benton. He's probably their most dangerous, and I'm certain that the special teams coach here at Eastern View well aware of his returning capabilities.
And let's see how the leg strength of Capolini is going to be. It'd be great if you could put it in the end zone. I don't like what college does. They make it out to the 25.
Mm-hmm.
And the pros do too.
I know they do. I think I'm not sure what the rationale is behind it. I guess they're sort of rewarding an offensive team. If you're not going to let the return team return it, we're going to give them the 25.
Yeah.
Rather than the 20. Well, we see continuous rule changes throughout the years, Steve. A lot of things have changed. From the time we first started watching this game, here's Capolini's kick. We're underway at Cyclone Stadium. End over end, and John Ed Benton gets under it at the 10-yard line. Here he is across the 20, 25. Reversing direction, still on his feet, looking for a block, and now the Cyclones finally catch up with him and corral him shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the single-wing offense of Spotsylvania.
I thought for a minute there he was going to get loose like he did against Culpeper last week, and you got to really corral him. You can't arm tackle that kid. So it's going to be interesting right now what we see on defense, where they're going to start. Looks like Mark, they're going to start at their own 28-yard line.
Some of the names you'll hear, John Ed Benton. He just returned this one for Spotsylvania. Mason Christopher, quarterback, Matt Moore, Tyson Anderson, some others. So, and then watch, too, and see what the Cyclones do defensively as they
well, look at all the committing up to the box. I mean, they're.
All right, this is going to be off right tackle, and the Cyclones are there waiting for the ball carrier shy of the 30-yard line.
The big thing, Mark, is in here.
I'm sorry, Steve, was running back was Matt Moore to the 30, picked up 3.
Well, what I was going to say is that watch on defense how up the safeties are. They got to be careful. Don't get a back or even the tight end, lined up out there. Now they've got some receivers out there.
And now, you're talking about them playing up, anticipating a run. It's a short pass. Breaking a tackle is John Ed Benton. And are you looking at a flag? Yes,
yep.
You are looking at a flag.
And it's going to be holding or a crackback block against Spotsylvania. We'll see what the call is.
First flag of the night comes on second down here in the opening possession of Spotsylvania. Opening minute here of this first quarter at Cyclone Stadium.
Legal block in the back.
We'll mark this one off. You know, we're live this year, and our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. So after the penalty, brings up second down and about 13 here for the Knights. Line of scrimmage now the 25. Back to the run. Straight ahead they go. I believe this is John Ed Benton. And, you know, we looked at him last week, Steve. He is a determined, keeps those legs turning type running back. Picked up a few yards. Got the lost yardage back. Going to bring up about 3rd and 7.
He's listed 5'6", 145 pounds, Mark, but he's strong. I think he's a little bit more than 145. However, he almost got broke it because if he gets to that second level and our safeties are, playing more up on the run, they got to watch out defensively. That's why it's a tough defense it's tough to defend this offense.
This is Cunningham. He loses his footing and then he goes down at the 30, and Spotsylvania now will have to punt the ball. And going back deep for Eastern View is number 21, Jason Spencer. Let's see who else is back there.
Can't see right across.
23, that's Darius Stafford. And punting the ball for Spotsylvania is Mason Christopher, who doubles quarterback and punter for this team. Didn't we also see him on defense?
Yes.
Last week, here's his kick. Nearly blocked. In fact, they may have gotten a hand on this one as this one bounces out of bounds just shy of midfield. So Eastern View's offense comes onto the field for the first time here in this game with outstanding field position. We'll see DeMaio Hunter and company here momentarily.
And see, number 2, Mason Christopher, does play defense. He also plays that free safety, or strong safety, position. So, you key on him a little bit as far as, how he goes as this game, presses on, because he's going a lot and been on the field almost continuously. See how his conditioning is.
Here's a snap to DeMaio Hunter. He throws near side. This is Xavier Carr, tackled shy of the 45-yard line by number 7, Tyson Anderson.
And, if I was Eastern View too, I'd be doing exactly that, because their corners for Spotsylvania are very, very small. And if you can get some of these big backs, especially Brett Clatterball on them, I think Katie barred the door.
All right, here is second down. DeMaio Hunter fakes to Darius Stafford. Here comes some pressure. Rolling and throwing. And does he have a receiver?
Yes.
It is complete to Brett Clatterball. And that's enough for a Cyclone first down. And they'll have it at the Spotsylvania 40.
Good catch, Mark, by Clatterball. He got low and got his hands underneath it. That was a great catch.
Moves the sticks. New set of down Cyclones. DeMaio Hunter handing off. Coming to the outside. Darius Stafford making a move. They're going to finally knock him out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. It was Darius Stafford. He's been kind of a go-to guy for this Cyclone team on offense, Steve.
He has, and he's showing he's growing into that position. He gives this offense another added dimension, and really helps DeMaio Hunter out in the passing game, and also it helps Clatterball out from his H-back position too, because they got to honor his speed.
27 yards on the pickup by Darius Stafford. Ball at the 13-yard line. DeMaio Hunter going to throw. He's got Clatterball out there. Clatterball fighting, and looks like he is into the end zone from 13 yards out.
Shut the door, lock the windows, because a storm is coming. It's a Cyclone touchdown.
8:15 to play first quarter, and the Cyclones strike first. He's got Kevin Berg as a receiver on that one, Steve, not Brett Clatterball, my mistake. Well, his eyes are better than mine. Talking about Dave Richardson, Braden Capolini on for the point after. DeMaio Hunter is the holder. Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0. So it was a 13-yard touchdown pass to Kevin Berg from DeMaio Hunter. Well, I guess if you're the Cyclones and DeMaio Hunter, He's sort of picking up where you left off last week against James Monroe.
You sure are, and you know they're looking good right now, especially on offense. So it's interesting to see how they've gotten so much better from the start of the season when they're again against Culpeper. And speaking of Culpeper, the Blue Devils played last night against James Monroe, but unfortunately they lost 17-15. That was James Monroe's first win of the season.
Yeah. So an unfortunate loss for the Blue Devils. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book fair trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 540-547-3673. 7-0 Cyclones, 8:15 to play here in the first quarter at Cyclone Stadium.
Like I said, it's good. The first drive marked. Eastern View took care of business, came right down and scored right what they needed to do. So,
what is it? 4 plays, 51 yards,
yep.
And capped with that 13-yard touchdown pass from DeMaio Hunter to Kevin Berg. Then Capolini's point after was good. 7-0 our score. This one is fielded by Tyson Anderson of Spotsylvania. A nice return. He fielded at the 15 and returned it about 31 yards.
Yeah, he had a running start on that ball, it seemed like, Mark, and he took off, and I was looking down the sidelines and where are the defenders? But Eastern View closed quickly. However, it's going to give Spotsylvania a very good field position to start their drive here.
This will be Spotsylvania's second possession of the game. Last time they went 3 and out. They go back on offense with much improved field position. They'll start this one at their own 42. Well, Christopher looks like the botched play back there in the backfield, and Braden Walker and company able to close in real quickly and tackle him for a loss.
It was Braden Walker. Once he gets his hands on you, you're not going to escape. And again, it was a miscue by Spotsylvania. Again, same thing. They had the penalty last on their other first drive. And now they've gotten a loss and a mistake here, and now they're back deep in their own territory.
Second down and 14 now for the Knights from their own 38. Man in motion, John Ed Benton. Direct snap to Matt Moore, I believe. Went straight ahead to the 45. No, it was number 29 of Spotsylvania, Steve. Let's check that.
That'd be Wes Swanson.
Wes Swanson. We called his name a couple times last week, didn't we?
Sure did. That kind of fooled me. I thought it was running to the edge. I didn't see where he kind of shuffled past it in the middle there.
Well, he really did. And I tell you, it's a little tricky watching this team. And if you're the defense, wow, you really got to stay on your toes. Third down, about 6 or 7 from the 45. Here's Mason Christopher. He's in trouble. And he's sacked for a loss back at the 40. That'll bring on another the punting team again for Spotsylvania, so unable to get tracked. Steve, is Spotsylvania looking like it's just simply offensively not in sync?
That, and they're getting overwhelmed. Braden Walker's having a field day in there, Mark. He's been able just to come and overpower the man who's up against him, and he's the one who created that havoc. So he's having a good first quarter right now. He's playing like a man possessed.
All right, punting this one away will be Mason Christopher from about the 30. It's a high kick. Let's see who's going to get it. Darius Stafford gets it about the 26. He's at the 30. Outside 35 makes a cut, tackled at the 41-yard line, and Eastern View's offense will come on back on the field for the second time tonight with excellent field position from their own 42. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. 5:59 to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 Cyclones. Scored on their first possession.
Mark, they got a player out there we haven't called very much. Kanye, number 55, Kanye Russell, playing like at a tight end spot.
Here's a quick throw, far side. We've got a receiver out there, Steve, and I tell you, these numbers are so hard to pick up here.
I know.
Let's see if we can
wish they had like flashing lights or something.
I believe that was Xavier Carr, number 9.
Good eyes. You got better eyes than I do.
A little bit of guesswork there, too. Goes a long way. Makes it a 50-50, doesn't
It
it?
sure does.
There's a 50% chance I'm right and a 50%
50%
chance he's
you're
wrong. DeMaio Hunter looking at a new set of downs here. He fakes it. He keeps it. Makes a cut. He's at the 35. Watch out. He's got some room. 20, 15, 10, 5. Diving for the end zone. He's in.
Lock the front doors, shut the windows, because guess what? It's a Cyclone touchdown.
40 yards on the play, Steve, with 5:40 to go. Makes it a 13-0 game in favor of the Cyclones. Well, it didn't take them long, did it?
No, did you see how that run, Mark, how he just followed his blockers and then he got around on the edge and then it was he just used his speed to run away from everybody.
And I would add that it looked like the edge was sealed by the blocking, so once he got there, he had plenty of green grass ahead of him and not a lot of defenders in position to seriously challenge him.
No.
Cappellini's point after is good, 14-0, 5:40 to play here in the first.
And Mark, the thing is that I liked too, there was at the end of that guy where DeMaio just dove in and overpowered him, put that ball. All he's got to do is cross that plane, touchdown. Great
Well,
run.
and he knew exactly when to time that dive to get over to break that plane. Well, DeMaio Hunter, well, you know, he was in, what do they say, he was in on, 5 touchdowns last week, whether he was throwing it or running. I think he threw, 4 touchdown passes. He ran for 1. He's got a touchdown pass tonight to Kevin Berg, and now DeMaio Hunter has a rushing touchdown.
Reminds me a whole lot of Matt Lowry. You're seeing him. Maybe, DeMaio's a little bit shorter, but the way he's improving, and now he's only a junior. And he's already, he can throw it, and we know he can run it. So that just gives, like I said, Eastern View is cooking on all cylinders right now in offense.
Well, didn't we say that coming in this season he was playing a new position at quarterback? And he's learning the craft.
Yeah.
And you know that the more you play when things are going like this, it's got to really build your self-confidence.
It sure does. And, I mean, it means you can just go out there knowing that you're going to move that football, and the coach trusts his ability.
Cappellini's kick. John Ed Benton fumbles it, picks it up inside the 5-yard line, and he's got nowhere to go as the blue jerseys swarm him inside the 10-yard line, and so that muff return will cause Spotsylvania field position there, Steve.
That was like a bunch of mad hornets crawling around like in a circle and say, "We got your prey," and bam. But you're right.
Swarming to the football, yeah.
They definitely were.
Looks like they're going to mark it right at the 10. Yeah, it is at the 10, so that's where Spotsylvania will set up shop offensively for the 3rd time tonight. And the first 2 times they went 3 and out, and now they start in a hole here. They keep it on the run. They get to the outside. That is Tyson Anderson. Anderson trying to break free, and he's tackled at the 45-yard line and pick up a 35 yards on the play. I guess if you're looking for a little breathing room, that's how you get it there.
Well, they got it there because Brett Clatterbaugh, Mark, made a mistake. He charged in. He was playing on the outside out there, contained, but he angled in, took a bad angle, and then the running back just ran right around and got the edge, and he was gone. Good thing Eastern View has got some speed back there, and was able to bring him down.
1st and 10 now, Knights from their own 47. They trail 14-0 here in the first quarter. Clock running, 5:10 to play. And here is Mason Christopher, the ball carrier, and this time he goes nowhere. Eastern View defense waiting for him. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473.
And I think also Brett needs to realize too, Mark, that their Spotsylvania is trying to run at him. That's a old school philosophy. If you got a star player on defense, you're on offense, run at him. Make him, make the play with blockers instead of, freewheeling it in and using his athletic ability.
2nd and 13. Snap this one to John Ed Benton. Looks like he gets the lost yardage back, and that's about it. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Knights.
Now, this is where you got to be careful though with the Knights. They might show a pass formation, but they can also do that little misdirection off that single wing mark and attack. And see if they get a hole, they can get 10 yards quick, as Benton has shown us, and the other running back, Anderson.
Tyson Anderson, number 7. Matt Moore, number 3. We've seen Wes Swanson, number 29. I thought that Mason Christopher, the quarterback, looked pretty good last week when he rolled out and threw. Let's see what he does here. He drops straight back. Now he rolls to his right, looks downfield. Got a receiver, caught, but then dropped with a nice hit made by number 21 of Eastern View, Steve, and that was Jason Spencer on the intended target there. Number 8, Jefferson Paz. He had a big game last week against Culpeper. Just a great defensive play.
That was, Mark, and it wasn't, it was a legal hit. He put his head and his shoulder right into the midsection of that receiver and popped that ball loose. Great defensive play, but it looks like Spotsylvania's going to try to go for it here. Watch out for the quick kick.
Yeah, on 4th and 9, do you really go for it here when you trail 14-0 and you've got the ball on your side, on this side of midfield? They are going through it. They air it out there and nowhere near the intended receiver. And so Spotsylvania, that was a gamble of a play, don't you think?
I think it was, especially just early in the first quarter. But they're down, 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, Mark. They're down 14-0, and right now Eastern View is playing dominant football, and I think they realize Spotsylvania does not have the speed to keep up with their athletes. So we'll see what goes here and how DeMaio Hunter and lead them down the field again.
Eastern View starts on offense on the Spotsylvania side of that midfield strike. They'll have it at the Knights 47. Bad snap. DeMaio Hunter picks it up. He's being chased. Looks downfield. Easy toss. And he's got a receiver there at the Spotsylvania 40. And picking up that's Darius Stafford. Well, it was a bad snap, and rather than becoming a miscue and a mistake, DeMaio Hunter made something out of it, and he actually picked up 7 yards on the pass completion to Darius Stafford.
Yeah, he was tackled by Christopher of Spotsylvania. And again, that was a great play, great improvisation on that.
Improvisation by DeMaio. Yeah, exactly. Well, he picked up 7, makes it 2nd and 3. Clock continues to run, 2:55 to play. Play action. This one caught for a first down, and this is, I believe, is Xavier Carr. It is Xavier Carr. Down to the 26-yard line. He picked up 14 yards and another Cyclone first down. This broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center. 2:45 clock ticking, 14-0. Here's DeMaio Hunter. Got time, got a receiver. This is Clatterball. Lowering his shoulder, gets inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from that spot. And we've got a penalty flag back down in the area of where you would generally suspect holding.
Yeah, it was, it was a late flag. And, I mean, the Eastern View offensive player got his arm. I think it was on number 69. 69, excuse me. And he's the one who got tagged for that holding. And he pulled back, but the official was right there, and he threw it. That just negated a good pass play, big gain for Eastern View. It just now sets them back now to, looks like we're going to mark at the, looks like the 43.
Original line of scrimmage was the Spotsylvania 47. They got to the 40, then down to the 26. Now they bring it back to the Spotsylvania 43, where it is 1st down and a long way to go for the Cyclones. This is Stafford down to about the 40. That'll be a pickup of 3. And it's going to bring up 2nd and long. Clock continues to run, 2:15 to play. This broadcast brought to you in part by K&M Lawn and Garden and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please.
That's a timeout, Culpeper.
Well, our timeout sponsor this year is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. UVA Credit Union, HVACSystem.org. And of course, we are live, and our live sponsor, Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. All right, a minute 53 to play here in this first quarter. It's been all Eastern View so far. I think that last penalty was really the blemish in their game thus far, Steve.
Yeah, it was, and it was a big one too because it put them all the way back. Then they were facing first down and 26 when they had the ball all the way down inside the red zone. And that's when you got to really tell your player, you get down to that red zone, that's when you can't really commit turnovers or penalties. You've got to be able to put you need to be able to score. You're in that red zone, you should come away with points.
All right. So from the 40 of Spotsylvania, Eastern View after the timeout has 2nd and 24. DeMaio Hunter throwing incomplete. He was looking for number 2, Jaden Williams, and the pass a little high for him.
A little high, and I mean, it was almost there, but like you said, it was just a little bit high, and Williams had position on Christopher, that free safety.
Steve, it looks like DeMaio Hunter is throwing with confidence out there.
He is. I mean, he's worked at it, Mark. I heard all during the summer, he knew he was going to be the starter this year, and he's done a great job so far this season.
All right, kudos to him. Here's 3rd and 24. They throw it, quick strike far side, short pickup on the play. And now a 4th down coming up for Eastern View for the first time tonight. Let's see what they do. Looks like they're going to bring on the punting team, Braden Capolini.
Yeah, they want to flip the field again. They don't want to, here and give Spotsylvania a chance because Spotsylvania's shown that if they get the crease and get on that edge, they're a threat.
Well, why wouldn't you go for? But why wouldn't you go for it on 4th and 22?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just saying if you were paying it. I knew you were. 4th and 22. We're going to go for it. We're going to go. All right, here's a punt. But Capolini almost got it.
Yep.
He's able to get it off. High kick. This one is not going to be returned, and it's going to take a nice cyclone roll down to looks like the 3-yard line, Steve. What a roll. And a kick by Braden Capolini.
Well, you know that one is SBG. Satisfactory but good.
SBG?
SBG.
Well, I think John Ed Benton was back there just really in a position where he was sort of hamstrung. He couldn't really do anything about returning the ball.
No, and it was a good high punt, though. Even though he was under pressure, he got it away and accomplished the job. Now I want to see if Eastern View defense here can, get a 3 and out or maybe a tackle in the end zone.
From the 3-yard line goes Spotsylvania. And keeping it this time is Mason Christopher. He may have picked up a yard or so. That's about it.
Yeah, and when that formation doesn't show any receivers breaking out on either side, that means that pretty much Eastern View knows it's going to be a run, and it's going to be a little deception in there from that single wing position.
Final 35 seconds ticking off here in the first quarter at Cyclone Stadium. Eastern View up 14-0. Here is 2nd down and 9 from the 4-yard line. Another running play. They try it left side, and this one goes nowhere as well. And now Spotsylvania.
That was number 7, Tyson Anderson, on that carry, Mark.
Okay. Final 5 seconds now ticking off, and I believe this one's gonna, We have played officially 1 quarter here at Cyclone Stadium. Our score, Eastern View 14, Spotsylvania nothing. We'll take a break and come back for the start of the second right after this.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Sons, More than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Pound & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
All right, second quarter action set to begin here at Cyclone Stadium, and Spotsylvania starts the quarter deep in a hole at the 1 yard line on 3rd and 12.
I think they're waiting for the clock. There they go.
So it's 3rd and 12 for the Knights. They're at their own 1 yard line. They trail 14-0, and they desperately need some breathing room, and this ball is fumbled, then picked up. This one's going to be a safety because the receiver is tackled in the end zone.
Sure is, Mark. That's a safety. Great defensive play right there by the Cyclones. They were able to, first it was a bad snap, and Christopher had to make do, or he was going to get a safety on him, and he threw it, but the receiver was still standing in the end zone.
Well, you know, really Spotsylvania, after that great punt by Brayton Capolini, was pinned back to its own 3 yard line. They got a yard on first down, but then they went backwards and were tackled for a loss at the 1, and then to start on 3rd and 12 and give up that safety now makes it 16-0. That was 6 seconds into the second quarter. So, and not only that, we'll have the free kick, and Eastern View is going to get the ball.
Eastern View is going to get the ball back on this free kick by Spotsylvania, and they got to start at their own 20. So if they're punting it, I'd be sitting somebody right there about the 40 or 35 yard line.
Well, look, it was a no-brainer decision that you don't punt on, or you don't go for it on 4th and 22. But you know that the coach is playing field position, and he got a big lift from that punt by Braden Capolini. Really pinned them back deep, and then Eastern View's defense was just swarming.
Right, and they're going to the ball like they've been taught. Everybody to the football, find it and go. They've done a good job so far here starting the second quarter.
Well, the punter is Mason Christopher, and the place kicker is Mac Robinson. And it looks like they're going to go for the punt as the free kick. Here it is, short kick. Going to have to get up under it. Ball is loose, and Eastern View does. It was a live ball, and Eastern View does recover it. Let's give the credit to where it belongs. It was recovered by Detrezga Hagan, number 44 of Eastern View. But look at this short field the Cyclones have to work with, and it's already 16-0, opening minute of this second quarter.
Yeah, and like I said, see if DeMaio, Hunter and company can keep this offensive train moving. But yeah, they're lucky there. They got that. I was about ready to say, better get on that football, boys. It's a live ball.
And Spotsylvania was coming down, and if the ball had bounced differently, who knows?
Yep.
But Darius Stafford lost his footing, regained it momentarily, and got to the 40, perhaps the 39-yard line there on that first down run.
That was a good run, Mark, and I'm really looking at the offensive line and how they're just pushing Spotsylvania off about 3 or 4 yards off the ball. So good kudos to the offensive line and where they're blocking. But is there a penalty here?
I don't think so. I think there was some question about where the ball was going to be marked down. And it looks like it's going to be the 42. So he didn't get the yardage I thought he had. Maybe it was because he had slipped. His knee may have touched the ground. Well, they give him 4, so it's 2nd and 6 here. And here's DeMaio Hunter, going to keep it. Gets to the outside, makes a cut, and going to have first down yardage for the Cyclones. Down to the 31-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 yards and a first down.
Mark, that was a good run there by Hunter. The way he was darting in and out and everything, he's reading his blockers very well. So I'm impressed on how he's playing tonight.
Coming into the game, Jason Spencer, number 21. Coming to the sidelines for a breather, Jaden Williams. Here's 1st and 10 Cyclones now from the Spotsylvania 30. Demayo Hunter handing off on this jet sweep to number 21, Jason Spencer. Called his number. Line of scrimmage was the 31. Looks like he gets down to about the 26.
And Mark, you know, that is great to see that you've got now 2 or 3 backs. You got some
21.
depth back there. And like Spencer just ran, he ran a good route. And I mean, a good run right there, got on the corner. So that just gives the coaching staff a lot of confidence that they've got some guys that can really run with the football.
Yeah, really got to the 22, so he picked up 9 yards. Brings up 2nd and 1 now for the Cyclones. They fake it to Stafford. They throw it in the end zone. It's caught, and it's a touchdown. Steven didn't pick up the number, but I know you'll gear up for the signature exclamation. Let's see who that is.
Shut the doors. Close your windows. And the storm is a brewing. It's a Cyclone touchdown. I want to say 21.
Well, that's Jason Spencer.
It was either 2.
No, he said number 9, Xavier Carr.
Okay.
All right, that's from 22 yards, or 21 yards. So DeMaio Hunter, his second touchdown pass. Point after is by Capolini. Is good. It's 23-0. So the 22-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Carr. That gives, is that DeMaio Hunter's second touchdown pass? And he's run for 1.
Yeah, he's run for 1 and thrown for 2.
Run for 1, thrown for 2, and then 3 point after touchdowns good by Capolini. And then, of course, they had the safety, and that makes it 23-0. 10:15 to play in this second quarter. And this broadcast is brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473.
Mark, Coach Jeremy Jack and company over there are asking, what's the number of the train is certainly running over us right now? Because I expected Spotsylvania to come in here and play inspired football, but right now they're just getting beat at all facets of the game.
Steve, I think the name of the train is Kansas City Southern.
Okay.
You know why I said that? That was a song by Pure Prairie Leg back in the 70s. Kansas City Southern.
Kansas City Southern.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's a little known fact, Steve. Okay, John Ed Benton gets under this one. Here is Benton. Watch out. He can motor it. He can break tackles. He gets out to about the 39-yard line, so he's going to give Spotsylvania pretty good field position. That hasn't been their strength this game. They've been pinned back a couple times.
They have, and I'm surprised they're not giving it to Benton more. And I guess they don't want him. You know, he's a little guy, but Eastern View is just feeding off, and they're keying off of what Christopher, the quarterback for Spotsylvania, is doing on that single wing. And they pretty much, if you see them going to go out and split out some wideouts out there, you know it's pretty much going to be a pass or some sort of pass. But again, you know, they're getting out of that single wing a little bit.
Right, this is a direct snap to John Ed Benton. And Benton, right side, picked up 2 or 3 yards. And on the tackle for the Cyclones included number 44, Detrez Gahagan. So out to the 44. He picked up 4. It's 2nd and 6. 9:45 to play here in the second quarter. Cyclone Stadium, Spin all Eastern View. 23-0 is our score. And here is 2nd and 6 for the Knights at their own 44-yard line.
Let's see what's going to be interesting here. Christopher's taking.
Yeah, he's got it, and then he's going to run it. They snapped it to him, and then Eastern View's defense strung that one along pretty nicely to contain him. No gain on the play, going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Spotsylvania.
And Mark, and what I want to stress here is that how well did Brian Lowry and staff get these boys prepared for tonight and what Spotsylvania's been doing. It looks like they're firing, like I said, on all cylinders. Eastern View, the defense, they kind of know what Spotsylvania's going to run.
And Steve, I think that's an excellent point because I want to refer to that here in just a second. Throwing, there's a penalty flag down. This one is caught for 1st down yardage pending the penalty.
I think it's coming back, though. It's going to be a false start or illegal shift against Spotsylvania. See what the call is.
Well, that pass was caught by Jefferson Paz.
Yep.
Let's check the call. You were just mentioning Eastern View head coach Brian Lowry and his staff. I think you're exactly right. I mean, if through the period of time we have played so far is any indication of how they've prepared and how they're going to do defensively, we would say that they certainly did their homework and they deserve the commendation for getting the team prepared for this game tonight.
Exactly. And Mark, that just negated that illegal procedure penalty against Spotsylvania. Just negated that first down, in the third. They converted that third down, but now they're back third and looks like 13 or third and 11.
Yeah, that pass play to Jefferson Paz negated with the penalty. Bad snap. Picked up and then swarmed down for a loss is Mason Christopher. Well, and that brings on the punt team again for Spotsylvania, and that sounds like kind of a recurring theme.
It sure is, and I like I said, this is not the Spotsylvania team we saw last week against Culpeper, and I'm thinking right now, I wish kind of the next week the King George game was here, but it's going to be down there. Again, that's going to be a brawl down there, Mark. I can just see it coming. See, King George is probably scouting here tonight. They're not playing. They played last night.
Bad snap and tackled is the punter, Mason Christopher. Well, they've had some trouble off the exchange, and it's really caused Spotsylvania here tonight. And you were talking about Spotsylvania not looking as good as they did last week, but I think that may have something to do with their competitors tonight because Eastern View is doing a good job defensively on them.
They are, Mark, and it's got their center has been making some bad snaps because he's worried about who's over him. He's worried about how to get into his block, not snapping the ball. You got to tell your center, hey, that's your first job, snapping the ball.
Well, things continue to sort of get worse for Spotsylvania, and Eastern View going to try to take advantage of it here. As I believe it was Darius Stafford straight ahead. But the line of scrimmage was the 20 of Spotsylvania, and Eastern View's already out in front, 23-0 with 7:44, clock ticking here in the second, and they're knocking on the door for more.
And Mark, I want to finish my thought here in a minute about what's King George and the two games they played this week.
Mm-hmm. 4-yard pickup, second down and 6. Stafford again looking for some running room. They're going to sling him to the turf at about the 15-yard line, so a gain of only 1 on the play.
Mark, and what I was getting ready to say is that King George played Caroline and Massaponax and won both. Really destroyed Caroline, and they beat up on triple Division 6 Massaponax.
They sure did. Here's DeMaio Hunter throwing. He's got a receiver out there who breaks the tackle, lowers his shoulder, and gets down inside the 5-yard line, and a new set of downs for Eastern View, Steve.
Yep, and I'm trying to think, was that?
That was Jaden Williams, I think.
Yep, number 2, Jaden.
Number 2, Jaden Williams. All right. Now, we've got first and goal from the 3. Here's DeMaio Hunter, and this is Darius Stafford straight ahead. And he's into the end zone from 3 yards out.
People, lock the front door, lock your windows, because guess what? It's a Cyclone touchdown.
29-0 with 6:44 to play here in this second quarter. Well, Steve, Spotsylvania's made some mistakes, and I know it sounds cliche, but Eastern View has really made them pay for it.
They sure has, Mark, and it's what better? It's homecoming, for Eastern View, and
Capellini's kick is up and good. 30-0. 6:44 to play in the second.
And guess what? They get the ball to start the second half.
They sure do, because you're alluding to the fact that with the coin toss, Eastern View won it deferred. You talk about this sort of lead and taking it into the third quarter. Who knows? You may have a, shall we say, continuously running clock.
Yeah, I mean, that would be on the game plan.
Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center. And K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please.
They sure do. I mean, it's like I said, Eastern View is gearing up for next week's game.
And you were telling me about King George, or are you saying they're off tonight?
Yes.
And what might they be doing?
Probably
Your staff
scouting.
is probably thinking about Eastern View.
I think they're here.
Yeah.
Watching them.
I think you certainly send your coaches to this game. I would call it. Here's Capellini's kick. This one nicely done, fielded actually by the return man here. This is number 44 for Spotsylvania, and that is Isaiah Patterson. Well, you scout the team. You might as well. Don't we think it's a Battlefield District showdown next week?
Yeah, I really am. I mean, it's King George is playing awful good. They've won 17 straight district games, and Eastern View, you remember having their 44-game winning streak snapped by Spotsylvania back in 2018.
Good memory.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that game. Unfortunately, I will not be here to watch it, but you'll keep me filled in.
All right, Spotsylvania back on offense. John Ed Benton hit hard before he can get going. We'll see who made the tackle there.
I'll be text messaging next Friday night.
Number 25 of Eastern View, Steve, making the tackle was Hutchison.
James Fry?
No, I'm sorry, number 25. Jaheim Fry. Well, John Ed Benton ran hard and with promise last week. Only picked up a yard there. Here is Christopher throwing and incomplete along the far sidelines. And he was looking for Jefferson Paz. And so third down coming up here. 3rd and 8. 6:06 to play here in the second. This broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive. Willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value along with a free trade appraisal. That's Battlefield Automotive. 540-547-3673. All right, here's 3rd and 8 for Spotsylvania at its own 26. Here's a reverse. Can Spotsylvania do anything with it? No, because that is Tyson Anderson slung to the ground by the Eastern View defender there. Did you pick up his number, Steve?
I'm trying to. It looks like number 8.
Oh, okay, number 8. Yeah.
And Mark.
Isom Addo forces another punt, and really sort of a hapless Mason Christopher going back there. He had to try to handle a bad snap last time, and that didn't work out well, and Eastern View smothered it, then took advantage of outstanding field position in short fashion. Here's his kick. It's a high one. Fair catch, signaled for and made at the 45-yard line by Darius Stafford. 5:18 to play here in this one, and this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, more than respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
And Mark, I was getting ready to say is that what's happened in Spotsylvania is that, they are coming against Culpeper, but Eastern View's got better athletes and quickness. Culpeper didn't have the quickness, and Spotsylvania's not used to it.
And, you look at the aggressive play on defense by Eastern View, and they've really, as you pointed out, Coach Lowry really and his staff had them coached up for this game. This one nearly picked off. It was over the outstretched hands there of Brett Clatterball, and then Mason Christopher tried to bring in the interception, unable to do so. So Cyclones avoid a turnover there, and now look at 2nd and 10. From the 46.
Well, DeMaio Hunter still lives on. Hadn't thrown an interception yet.
Yeah.
That almost thought it'd been his first one.
And really, 7 games into the season without one, that's really saying something. Darius Stafford shakes the initial defender. There's a penalty flag coming in late here as Stafford crossed midfield, got into Spotsylvania territory at the 49. Let's check the penalty.
See what the penalty is. It's going to go against Spotsylvania.
Steve, I thought they threw that one in there sort of late.
They did.
Is that that's only a 5-yarder?
Incidental fakes mask.
Oh, okay, incidental, yeah. Difference between 5 and 15. Spotsylvania 44-yard line. And it is I think they need to, if they look across the sideline there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be second down and less than a yard to go here. I was looking at the down marker and the
No, they had equipment issue. They made
second and 1. Yeah. Demayo Hunter on the reverse. Looking to pass it. Incomplete. That was Kevin Bird. His pass short of the intended mark. And let's check who he was going for number 22?
Yeah, it's Clatterball.
Oh, yeah, Clatterball, yeah.
But, you know, I don't really like that call right here in this. You got third and we had second and 1. Take care of business with the running. Get your first down. I mean, I know it's sometimes great to play gadget plays, but you're up 30-0. You know, keep running your offense and, you know, don't get outside your lane is the way I look at it.
Well, now you're looking at a third and very short. You figure they'll go back to the run here. And they do. Straight ahead they go. And this is Jaden Williams. Gets to the outside, makes a nice cut. He's got a little blocker in front of him, and he's still on his feet. He's into the end zone from 44 yards out.
No laundry.
No laundry.
They lock the front door to shut down. You shut your windows because a storm is coming. It's called a cyclone. Touchdown.
Wow. 36-0 with 4:54 to play here in the second. Braden Capolini is on to tack on the extra point. And Steve, this means that when we start the third quarter, now unless Spotsylvania comes back in the second quarter to score, we're going to have a continuously running clock. And it is 37-0 with 4:54 to play in this one. Well, we mentioned that we are live this year, and our live sponsor, of course, is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. And, well, it's been all Eastern View to say the least.
It has. And, Mark, again, the running clock won't start until after half. They'll
right.
have a regular clock in the first half. And, again, I don't want to see Eastern View take their foot off the brake here. You got them down, you keep them there. Don't get too cute. Try these run-dazzle plays because Spotsylvania, I mean, they're basically getting whipped everywhere on that football field. Special teams, defense, offense. And see, right now, Eastern View just needs to keep working on their offense and keep gearing up for next week's big game against King George. I would look probably to see Coach Lowry in the fourth quarter, run clock, you know, bench the rest of the starters and give them the rest up for next week's game.
Well, let's see what Braden Capolini does here. Does he kick it short? Does he kick it straight on? A straight on kick. This one's going to be returned from the 10-yard line. This is going to be returned nicely out to about the 45. And let's see if I can pick up the player.
Yeah.
Oh, it was number 7. Well, you know who that is.
Yeah.
That's Tyson Anderson. They have, you know, really, Spotsylvania has probably 4 players that are probably going to be handling the ball at any one time.
Right.
Is it going to be John Ed Benton, who wears jersey number 1, Mason Christopher number 2, Matt Moore 3, Tyson Anderson 7?
Yeah, they're the ones that are going to be, like you said, handling the football.
Well, Spotsylvania has good field position following this nice return by Tyson Anderson, and looks like Eastern View's called a timeout. We mentioned that our timeout sponsor this year is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. UVACreditUnion.org.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Lowry and staff are going to be telling the kids at halftime up 37-0. I mean, you're pretty much playing a flawless game right now, and just don't, you know, like I said, just don't get too cute. That's the way I look at it. I mean, you're running your offense, you're scoring at will. Just keep doing your bread and butter plays and keep working on it, because you're going to need that next week against King George, and it's also going to be an interesting game next week because you're going to have 3 or maybe possibly 4, their quarterback too, 3 or 4 star prospects out there in the field.
Division I.
Yep, Division I. We have Clatterbaugh and Walker, and they've got 2 they possibly got 3.
This is ball carrier straight ahead. This is Wes Swanson, number 29. Maybe a yard.
In Spotsylvania right now, Mark is searching for an answer some way, somehow. The coaching staff's telling him somebody's got to make a play. And right now, like I said, it just goes to the coaching and how prepared Eastern View was to come in and face this offense. It's a difficult one to play defense again, and it looks like right now Eastern View's pretty much solved it.
Well, I'm with you, Steve, that the preparation that the Eastern View coaching staff did, I mean, really did their homework. 2nd down and 9. Mason Christopher here. Here comes the pressure. Going to try to run away from it and throws it incomplete. He was able to get rid of it. Intended receiver Jefferson Paz. But putting the pressure on Christopher that time was Eastern View's Josh Perez, number 7.
And Mark, got another little tidbit fact for you. Coach Hatfield is undefeated. They had to play John Champ, which is now moved up from AA all the way to 6A.
Oh, wow.
And it was an overtime game won by Battlefield in overtime. And that was last week, and there were some interesting developments in that game and how it came down.
Well, maybe we can talk about that some. And I want to ask you, when you think about 6A Battlefield, I want to ask you when you get a chance to comment on how you think they might compare to Freedom. Oh, here comes the pressure. Ball is loose. Both teams have players trying to pounce on it. Let's see what the referee says. He says it's Eastern View football.
Yep.
Well, when things are going your way, they tend to really go your way, don't they?
They do, Mark. And that was just good pressure defense by Eastern View. And the quarterback dropped the football, and his arm was not going forward. So, and we don't have replay in high school, the referees can look at. So we got to be now Eastern View's got to take care of business again. They're looking for a couple of players to get on. Number 55. No, that's 66. No, 55.
55 is Kanye Russell.
Yep.
And so it looks like Eastern View is going to have the ball at Spotsylvania's 28-yard line. 3:50 to play, second quarter, all Eastern View. Right now, 37-0 over Spotsylvania.
There's just all Eastern View, Mark, and it's just, like I said, see if they can play mistake-free football here in the second half. We said it's going to be a running clock.
Spotsylvania's had some bad snaps from center to quarterback, but at the same time, Eastern View's done a good job of applying that pressure. They seem to have their players in the right spots. They've forced some plays that have put Spotsylvania in some terrible field position and taken advantage of it each time. And they've also shown their ability to score so quickly as Eastern View.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it because they do have the athletes.
They do. They have the athletes, and like I said, the coaches put a masterful game plan up here for them to follow, and they've done it from A to Z.
All right. The snap to DeMaio Hunter. Looks downfield, pump fakes, now he throws. Got an open man out there, and then it's picked off by Jefferson Paz. I think the ball may have floated maybe a little bit too long out there because it looked like he was open, but then the defender was able to get up under it, and then Jefferson Paz comes over for the interception, and I think that breaks the record this year of consecutive throws without an interception.
Yeah.
But you can't expect to never throw one.
No, you can't, and there goes that streak. And I thought Eastern View was going to come down with it, but like you said, when he's throwing on the run, he kind of threw off his back foot, and that ball kind of floated a little bit on him. But again, now go back and play defense again and pin Spotsylvania back.
All right, Spotsylvania back on offense. Again, poor field position. The Knights will start at their 12. And they'll call a timeout to think about this one because they can't afford any more mistakes. And, of course, being down 37-0 with 3:35 to play in the second quarter and an entire second half still to play. I mean, time-wise, they've got time, but they would have to do something tremendously different to reverse their fortunes here tonight.
Exactly. I mean, you'd have to be the miracle, the ultimate miracle if they came back and won this game. But there is always a chance.
Well, Steve, let's talk about looking ahead because we've already mentioned it, and You know, the people out there, they know. If you follow high school football in the local teams, you know that Eastern View and King George is really the game to see. What do you like about King George is, to me, if you think about them offensively, they've got Zach Ferguson as quarterback. They've got a couple of Division I receivers in Mekhi White, and I think it's Chance Wiggins, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they are lethal weapons.
And Wiggins, I think, was hurt last time, so you didn't see him in the box score. I think he was nursing an ankle injury, but still, Mekhi White, you know, UVA Tech, they're all, you know, offering him a scholarship. So, again, King George kind of reminds me of Lou Sorrentino coached teams back like into the 98, 99 teams. They can hurt you not only with the pass, but the run. They've got to get athletes all in the skill position. It's going to be a tough game for
John Ed. Nope. Yeah, it is. I thought the running back was John Ed Benton, but they faked me out again. They're still not faking out that Eastern View defense, though, Steve.
No, they're not.
And those are the ones that count. So the ball carrier there was number 14, Luke Dickinson. We didn't mention his name at all last week.
We sure did.
But if you're Spotsylvania, you got to try things here, don't you?
You sure do. And it's, you know, what, second down and what, about 8?
Yeah, and the clock continues to run. We're approaching the 3-minute mark here in the second quarter. Again, our score, Eastern View 37, Spotsylvania nothing. This is the quarterback. This is Mason Christopher. Not much room to move and maneuver. Eastern View defense all over it here tonight.
They're like a bunch of mad hornets. Like I said, they're just buzzing all around that ball.
It's going to bring up third down and about 7 from the 15-yard line.
If you're Spotsylvania, who do you go? I'd be looking like a little pitch or something to Benton, see if he can get around the corner.
Well, you know, John Ed Benton was really a factor last week for Spotsylvania, but hasn't been really that way for them tonight.
No.
But it's a whole different game for Spotsylvania than it was last week. Well, John Ed Benton tried to take the snap, bobbled it, picked it up, and then he was swarmed, and yet for another loss. And so here's Spotsylvania looking at a 4th and long.
Yeah, but now they just gave him a first down because the ref threw a flag. He said he was unnecessary roughness. He blew the whistle, but then Eastern View backed off. And we'll see what
and you think they're going to call it unsportsmanlike against?
Yep.
Here it comes, dead ball. Yep, that's unsportsmanlike against Eastern View. You called it.
Yep. It's on number 7 for Eastern View, and that is
Josh Perez.
Yep. He's the one who got called for it.
No, here they go, marking it off. They'll move the sticks with them. A minute 58 to play here in the second.
See, that's the thing that, you just gave them right now. You gave them first down. You had them stop way deep in their territory. And, when the ref blows the whistle, you don't continue. See what he did. He continued to, flung them down. And that you can't do that. He should have just backed off and said, okay. He wouldn't have got. I thought the ref was a little bit quick with the flag.
Here's Mason Christopher, the quarterback. Moving to his right, being tackled for a loss. And in on the tackle there for Eastern View was number 25, Jaheem Fry. Had a little help along the way, too. Second down coming up. Actually lost a yard. Back to the 24 to make it 2nd 11. And I would have thought the clock would have been running. I don't see it running.
Nope, you're right.
2nd and 11 from the 24. All right, Mason Christopher back there for Spotsylvania. Will it be snapped to him? It's not. It's snapped to John Ed Benton. Coming near side. Looking for running room. Won't find any. Well, there you are again about those bees. And that Darius Stafford was the lead bee on that one.
He was.
And he had plenty of help out there.
He had that stinger going.
Looking to sting you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't want to be ya.
Actually, he does want to be you, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's just been a superb effort by this Eastern View defense tonight
Sure
so far.
has.
And, of course, the offense has capitalized nicely, too. Here's 3rd and 12. And Spotsylvania not helping its cause, putting itself in these 3rd and long situations. They're going to throw it out there to John Ed Benton. Benton's going to get a few yards, but nowhere near enough.
He's going to be, what, about 4 yards short?
I think he's going to be a little bit more than that, Steve. We'll check it here in just a second. They've stopped the clock with 1:37 to play. You know what? He actually got closer than I thought he did. Because now they're saying it's 4th and a long 1 or a short 2.
Well, now your decision time here for Spotsylvania basically is a no-brainer. You're going to have to go for it because why would you want, you're down 37 to zip. And if now Eastern View, they're going to give it to him.
They're giving him the first down?
They sure
wow.
are.
Well, he got more yardage than I thought. And they have it marked now at the 35. That's exactly where they needed to get for a first down. Clock continues now to run. Throwing near side receiver, I believe this is Jefferson Paz. And again, he runs into a swarm of blue jerseys. Steve, I counted 6 blue jerseys making contact with number 8, Jefferson Paz.
Right, and Mark, and you've got to be careful though, where the last Eastern View carriage kind of jumped on the pile. You got to be, you got to look and say, okay, my boys in front of me have got this, and I don't need to be jumping on the top of it because he could have been called again, player for unsportsmanlike.
Well, no gain on the play. Clock continues to run. We're down to 50 seconds and counting. 2nd and 10, Spotsylvania from the 35. Throwing. Trying to make a diving catch out there was Jefferson Paz, unable to do so. Pass thrown, of course, by Mason Christopher. 3rd and 10 on its way.
Again, you tell your defense, don't let anybody get behind you. And remember what happened in the Culpeper game last week where John Ed Benton came out of the backfield and got behind everybody and had that 58-yard pass and catch.
All right, 3rd and 10 coming up on the incomplete pass. Clock is stopped, 38.2 seconds to play in the 2nd quarter. Our score, 37-0, Eastern View. All right, Mason Christopher is number 2. John Ed Benton, number 1. They snap it to Benton. No, they don't. They go straight ahead with it. And this is that thing about that single wing. And they're fooling everybody with the Eastern View defense.
And like I said, it now brings up 4th down, but see, Spotsylvania called timeout. I would have thought they would have been just let the clock run out and get in the locker room. But now this is going to be interesting. Or did Eastern View call timeout?
I'm not sure, but it is 4th down. And here comes the punting team for Spotsylvania. And the punter's been Mason Christopher. And like we said, he's found the going rough tonight between those snaps and the pressure. And
right.
It's just, he's been swarmed.
He's been swarmed.
That's those bees again.
The bad Hornets.
Well, there is a team in Virginia High School League known as the Bees. Who am I talking about?
Brookville.
That's right. Well, your answer is supposed to be in the form of a question. Who is Brookville?
Who is Brookville?
I'm sorry, Steve. You won't get the points for that. All right. But it is Brookville. All right, this time, Christopher has time to punt this one away. This one fielded inside the 35-yard line. On the return is Darius Stafford. He gets out to about out the midfield. And Eastern View will have 20.9 seconds here on offense.
Here's where you like DeMaio Hunter. Here's where he can take charge. And he's going to run the football, or they're just going to take a kneel and go out for halftime.
What do you do here?
Well, he's lining up in shotgun, so they're not going to take a knee. They're going to try to keep Spotsylvania on the, because they get the ball to start 2nd half.
They sure do, with a 37-point lead. Right now, Eastern View's pitching a shutout. Here's DeMaio Hunter. Here comes some pressure. He's able to get rid of it. Will that be an intentional grounding? Nope.
No, because he threw it outside the box. He was in the, so it's no intentional grounding.
But if you throw it, if you're inside the pocket, it's not intentional grounding, right?
No.
It's when you leave the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh,
no,
there
they did. They called it.
Maybe they are calling it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a late call, isn't it?
Yep. So it'll be intentional ground, loss of down, 5 yards.
Well, but even with the penalty, you look at DeMaio Hunter and you go, there's some really athleticism there where it's so hard to bring him down for a loss. It's like he's either going to get a gain or he's going to at least get rid of the football to avoid the sack. But that's the call right there. It's the intentional grounding.
Yeah, it was a 10-yard penalty or 5.
Well, they moved it back to the 40, and the line of scrimmage was at about the 49. So, in essence, a 10-yard penalty here. Second down and 20. 13.4 seconds. Clock stopped here. And now it'll resume. They go back to the run. This is Darius Stafford. Stafford's got some running room. He's in that Spotsylvania secondary. He goes out of bounds with 5.1 seconds to play. I think he's down near the 25-yard line of Spotsylvania. So you're down to a play here and 25 yards out. Not a long distance for a team that can score so quickly like Eastern View.
No, but what about maybe trying Capellini? No, because what the ball's at? The ball's
29,
at 29. That'd be a
46. 46-yard
Yep.
field goal. Could be the last play of the half here. Hunter's got time. He airs it out. He's got a receiver open. It's caught. Touchdown, Eastern View from 29 yards out. Steve, I'm going to pick up the player. That is, Jason Spencer, number 21.
21, and don't say, shut the front door, lock your windows, and feel that wind because it's a cyclone touchdown. 29 yards from DeMaio Hunter to,
I think it was number 21, Jason Spencer.
wow.
Well, they need, and here they are. They just scored again. Capellini's point after is good.
No good.
No
good.
So at the end of the half,
You mean he missed one?
That's the first one he's missed all season.
That's
So-
really going to come back and haunt this team, Steve. At 43-0, you think it won't come back and? Well, nobody's perfect,
People
right?
over dramatic there.
You know what? Slightly. You know what? You're going to miss one at some point, aren't you?
Yep, exactly. I thought he got it, but down here, I guess it got wide, and so.
Well, it looks like they've said that the half has expired. So, and it has. Both teams going to the locker room for intermission. All right, we've played one half here at Cyclone Stadium, and our score 43-0 in favor of the Cyclones. Enjoy the halftime. We'll be back for the start of the third quarter. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
For your post-game enjoyment, the Eastern View Marching Cyclones under the direction of Mr. Adam Roach. Drum major is Valerie Alvarado Alas. Tonight's show is La Numba from Cirque du Soleil, featuring Distorted, Rev Road, Allaloo, and Urban. Drum major, Valerie Alvarado Alez, is your band ready?
and welcome to Eastern View High School's homecoming. 2 weeks ago, students participated in Spirit Days such as Adam Sandler Day, Disney Day, Fire vs. Ice, Country vs. Country Club, as well as celebrating in our annual pep rally. In addition, students voted for their classmates to represent them on homecoming court. Please join us as we celebrate these students. Our freshman princess is Olivia Plant, escorted by her mom, Jennifer Plant. Outside of school, she enjoys practicing cosmetology, cheerleading, and tumbling. Olivia's favorite memory so far has been attending the Friday night football games with her friends in the student section. Her future plans are to go to cosmetology school and open her own studio in New York City. Our freshman prince is Isaiah Minor, escorted by his mom and dad, Danielle and Ross Williams. Isaiah is a member of the JV football team and plans to play basketball and run track. Since entering high school, Isaiah has joined Young Life. While Isaiah hasn't had his most memorable moment yet, he enjoyed participating in Spirit Week and can't wait to make more memories. After high school, Isaiah hopes to attend Oregon State University. Freshman homecoming princess and prince Olivia Plant and Isaiah Minor. Our sophomore princess is Brett Howell, escorted by her dad, Danelle Howell, and stepmom, Crystal Howell. Brett is a member of the tennis and volleyball teams at Eastern View. She is also a member of the Envirothon team. Her favorite high school memory was playing heads up on the last day of school in math class. Brett's future plans are to attend college to become a vet tech or major in environmental engineering and conservation at Virginia Tech. Brett Clatterbaugh is our sophomore prince. Brett is being escorted by his mom, Barbara Clatterbaugh. He is a member of the football and wrestling teams. When not in school, Brett enjoys hunting and hanging out with friends. His favorite high school memories are winning a state championship in wrestling during his freshman year and all of the overnight trips with wrestling. Brett plans to continue his football career in college while earning an engineering degree. Our sophomore homecoming court members, Brett Howell and Brett Clatterbaugh. Our junior princess is Faith Tingler, escorted by her mom, Crystal Tingler. Faith has been a member of the varsity soccer team for 2 years so far and also plays with the Fredericksburg Football Club. She is also a member of Morgan's Message. Faith's favorite memory is winning the district championship last year in soccer. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year university and continue playing soccer. Derek Brown is our junior prince. He is being escorted by his mom and dad, Courtney and Derek Brown. Derek is a member of the lacrosse and wrestling teams. Outside of school, he enjoys hunting and playing travel lacrosse and is also a member of 4-H. Derek's favorite memories are any of the overnight trips with the wrestling team. Derek's future plans are to attend a trade school or the Naval Academy as he continues his lacrosse career. Our junior homecoming couple, Faith Tingler and Derek Brown. And now our senior homecoming court. Our first court member is Adeline Butler, escorted by her grandma, Deborah Latinga. During her time at Eastern View, Adeline has been a member of the competition and sideline cheer teams. When not in school, she also participates in beauty pageants, is a member of Life Point Church, and enjoys volunteering in the community. Adeline's favorite high school memory was making the varsity cheer team and competing at states her freshman year. After high school, Adeline plans to attend the University of Arizona to pursue a career in travel nursing, where she also plans to minor in psychology. Our first male court member is Charles Barr, escorted by his mom, Denise Barr. Charles has been a member of cross-country, both indoor and outdoor track teams, and is a member of the marching band. He is also a member of the National Technical Honor Society. His favorite high school memories are the lunchtime conversations with the boys. After high school, Charles plans to attend a 4-year HBCU and earn a degree in civil engineering. Our first senior homecoming couple, Adeline Butler and Charles Barr. Our next senior court member is Elle Castro, escorted by her dad, Roque Castro. Elle has been a member of the tennis team and band. She is also a member of the Superintendent's Student Advisory Group, Youth and Philanthropy, and National Honor Society. Elle's favorite high school memory is her junior year's homecoming festivities, such as Spirit Days and the homecoming dance with her friends. After high school, Elle plans to attend a 4-year university and major in sports and event management so that she can one day become an event manager for an entertainment venue. Our next senior court member, Jason Mann, escorted by his mother, Snigda Mann. Jason is a member of the varsity tennis team. When not in school, Jason enjoys working on cars and watches, playing guitar, and volunteering as an EMT. Jason is a member of the National Honor Society while also studying to become an EMT and being enrolled in the EMT program at CTEC. He says his favorite high school memory was prom last year. He says it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience with his friends. Upon graduating, Jason wants to earn his BSMD so that he can become a radiologist. He plans to become financially independent so that he can travel the world and own real estate. Senior homecoming court members, Elle Castro and Jason Mann. Our third homecoming female is Haley Kress, escorted by her dad, Michael Kress. Haley is a member of FFA, FCCLA, and DECA. Outside of school, Haley enjoys volunteering, making jewelry, and baking. Haley's favorite high school memory was modeling her group's duct tape dress in fashion marketing. Haley's future plans are to obtain her BSN and eventually her CRNA. She would also like to travel and buy her dream car, a BMW E30 M3. Josh Perez is our next homecoming court member, escorted by his mom, Joanne Fisher, and dad, David Perez. Josh is a member of the varsity football team. His favorite high school memory is when the football team beat CCHS on our home field. After high school, Josh plans to attend Germanna for 2 years before transferring to a 4-year university. Senior homecoming court members, Haley Kress and Josh Perez. Our next senior court member is Destiny Washington, escorted by her mom, Letitia Washington, and dad, Jay Jenkins. Destiny is a member of the varsity basketball team. Her favorite memory of high school is when the girls' varsity basketball team beat Powhatan to win regionals. After high school, Destiny plans to become a dental hygienist. Our next senior court member is Braden Walker, escorted by his parents, Francis and Terry Walker. Braden is a member of the varsity football, wrestling, and track teams. Braden's favorite high school memory is making the playoffs his freshman year for football and all of the overnight wrestling trips. After high school, Braden has committed to play football at Elon University while pursuing a degree in business with a minor in communications. Our fourth homecoming couple, Destiny Washington and Braden Walker. Our last homecoming court female is Miriam Wolgamuth, escorted by her parents, Mark and Serena Wolgamuth. Miriam is a former gymnast and was a member of our cheer team in 9th grade. Outside of school, Miriam enjoys going to the gym and working out. Her favorite high school memory was working with her friends over the summer as a lifeguard and enjoying coffee at this year's senior sunrise. After high school, Miriam plans to attend Germanna before hopefully continuing on to UVA to major in the medical field. Our final senior court member is Darrell Deuce Washington, escorted by his parents, Arnice and Darrell Washington. Deuce is a member of the football teams and was a member of the basketball team during 9th and 10th grade. Deuce's favorite high school memory was playing varsity football as a freshman. After high school, Deuce plans to become an electrician. Our last homecoming couple, Miriam Walgamuth and Deuce Washington. Please join us in congratulating our entire homecoming court. And now for the crowning of our King and Queen by EVHS Principal Dr. Nate Bopp. The EVHS 2022 Homecoming King is Charles Barr. And now for our homecoming queen. Our homecoming queen is Adeline Butler. Congratulations, Adeline and Charles.
Congratulations to Charles and Adele, our homecoming King and Queen 2022. And congratulations to all the other princesses and princes.
All right, halftime here at Cyclone Stadium. What's left of it, because these two teams are going through their loosening up drills as they get ready to start the third quarter. And by the way, as we start the third quarter, Eastern View is up 43-0 and will be receiving the third quarter kickoff. And we know that with that 35-plus point differential advantage, we'll have a continuously running clock here, Steve Peacock, in the second half.
Yes, we will, and this should go pretty quickly because the ball only stops on injuries, change of quarter, and official timeout and penalties.
And before we get ready for this third quarter kickoff, of course, this is the homecoming game. You know, at halftime that means crowning a homecoming king and queen. So congratulations to our winners this year. The homecoming king is Charles Barr, and the homecoming queen, Adeline Butler. So congratulations to those two students. All right, Steve, back to the field here, 43-0. Yeah, the game's been just as dominant as the score would indicate, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, it is. I mean, Eastern View has just been playing lights-out football, especially in that first half. The only miscue was that we saw is DeMaio Hunter's consecutive quarters of not throwing an interception ended up being an interception, which really wasn't his fault. The Eastern View player, receiver had the ball, but then it got tipped. It got tipped in the into the hands of the Spotsylvania receiver. So, the streaks and some, it's like the old saying, it's got to end somewhere. So.
Right.
And,
Can't last forever, right?
Yes, you got it.
Well, Mac Robinson, I believe, is going to tee it up for Spotsylvania.
And, I bet Coach Lowry and the staff, they just said, look, continue working on our offense, and, they'll probably get, like I said, the reserves will probably get in there around the fourth quarter and see what happens here. Because, everybody is, let me just reassure, we're going to have a continuous running clock because of the more than 35-point differential.
I was a little hesitant about the place kicker, but it is Mac Robinson kicking off here. It's a short kick. This one's going to be fielded at the 30, 35-40. Darius Stafford, watch out. Penalty flag comes in at the end of that play as Darius Stafford got into Spotsylvania territory just shy of the 45-yard line. Let's check the call.
It's probably going to be, it looks like a block in the back. It's going to go against Eastern View, and it is. So, negated that good run back. But now Eastern View goes on offense.
Well, Stu, we expect to see some change in personnel as this second half unfolds. I guess the question is, at what point do we see them?
Well, like I said, they're going to want to run their offense right here, Mark, and see, if they go down and score here, I expect we'll start seeing some reserves here and there. But like I said, it's going to be a continuous running clock. It's stopped right now because of the penalty.
All right, so Eastern View will start at its own 36. Here as we start the third quarter, here's DeMaio Hunter. He's flushed out of the pocket. He looks downfield and he throws. Nice arm. Airing it out and caught. This one's caught by Trey Brock, and it's a touchdown for Eastern View. That's a 64-yard touchdown pass.
Shut the front door, lock the windows, and what a big wind is coming. It's a cyclone touchdown, 69 yards. Oh, my goodness.
Trey Brock. Wow. First play from scrimmage in the third quarter. It's a touchdown, and it's 49-0.
And he ran right under it. He was hitting in stride. What a good throw by Hunter and good catch by Brock.
I think it was a terrific throw by DeMaio Hunter. When you catch a receiver like that in stride, and then when you do, I mean, wow. No, not able to catch him. So Capolini converts on the extra point, and it's 50-0. And you heard right, folks. It really is 50-0. 5 seconds into this third quarter at Cyclone Stadium.
And that was just a pretty play, Mark. And it was a lot to do with DeMaio Hunter. He bought some time, and he just winged it down there. And he knew if he throw it down there, his receiver would run under it. And they had that just shows me, too, it's been all game long. Spotsylvania doesn't have the speed on the corner to keep up with the receivers of Eastern View.
Yeah, and I just, I had no doubt that Eastern View would win tonight, but if you'd have told me it's going to be 50-0 in the 5 seconds into the third quarter, I'd go, are you sure?
Yeah, I would have taken
Spotsylvania, did we just see them last week?
If you were spotting me 50 points, I'd be taking that bet all day long. God,
wow.
Look what's happening.
All right, Braden Capolini. His leg's been given a workout tonight. All these point after touchdowns, and here's his kick. It's a short one. This is a nice fielding job there by the return man at the 15-yard line. He got across the 20 out to about the 23. And that's where Spotsylvania's offense will take over. The Isaiah Patterson returned it for the Knights.
And now the clock is running. You're going to see it go pretty quick here. And let's see who's got any new faces on defense.
Well, look at it. Checking in is big number 77, Eric Smith. See him in there?
Yep.
I think he'll play that defensive tackle position.
Yeah, because I still see Clatterball and company still out there.
Or maybe he's over the center.
Yeah.
Is that more of a nose guard position, Steve?
Yep, sure is.
All right, Spotsylvania, own 24. John Ed Benton, the ball carrier. And He got across the 25, out to about the 27, picked up 3, maybe 4, brings up second. Yeah, give him 4, brings up second and 6.
Number 26 rather, and number 8 coming in the defensive back.
You say 26?
Yep.
I don't have one.
Oh, look like it's 21. Excuse me.
Well, but
Jaden Spencer.
He's been in there.
Yep.
Okay.
Adu is in there though too.
All right, from the 28, second and 7. Here's a run. Looks like it had some promise. Got out to the 30, but then gang tackling by Eastern View. Now another player coming in. This is Grayson Yates, 75, for the Cyclones.
So
Here's third down for the Knights at the 30. Third down and 4. And you talk about a continuously running clock. Just a second ago, I said we're 5 seconds into the third quarter. Now we're down to 9:25.
Yep. So what? See if each of you can hold here on defense, force them to punt.
Mason Christopher. And out across the 35. Had to get, well, that's enough for a first down. Yeah. So.
Like I said, the defense right now is what you can tell our viewing audience is just make sure that no one gets behind you, make good sound tackles, work on your fundamentals because next week is the big game.
That's right. And if you're Spotsylvania, you'll take success in short increments in any way you can find it. Here's a direct snap to John Ed Benton, and he got across the 40 out to about the 42. This broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. And also CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center. All right, 2nd and 5 here at the 41. Here's a reverse. And this, oh, wow. This player was Tyson Anderson on the reverse, and looks like he's shaken up some.
Well,
he got twisted.
He got twisted around that leg.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not, so they will stop the clock on this.
Yeah, being attended to now. And let's thank some of our supporters here of Cyclones football. Of course, we mentioned we are live, our live sponsor, Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. I want to thank Nicole Wooten back in the studio, the Culper Media Network. Johnny Krawchuk always braving the elements behind the camera up top of each press box. And it really does get cold out there. We stay in here and stay fairly warm, Steve.
That's right.
Also, this broadcast brought to you in part by K&M Lawn and Garden and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. That's K&M. From grass to trees, they aim to please.
They look like they're looking at his ankle. You know, I mean, he landed awkward. You know, when he looked like his leg got trapped up under him, but he's getting up under.
Yeah, it looked like it was just going to be kind of painful. And this is really one of Spotsylvania's key players. Is Tyson Anderson, number 7.
He's walking off on his own power, so that's a good sign.
And when they reset, it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Knights from their own 40-yard line.
Let's see who we got in there. We got number 17 in there for Eastern View, and that's Eddie Holmes. At 19, we got
Landon Taylor?
Landon Taylor.
Right. Have we mentioned
75, that's
Grayson Yates? Yeah. 77, we mentioned. He's got some size to him. Eric Smith. 6 foot, 320 pounds.
Yeah, it's like there's a run up the middle.
All right, now the clock resumes. 7:50 counting. Third quarter action, 50-0 in favor of the Cyclones. Here it is on 3rd and 6. Got a receiver out there. It's Jefferson Pass. Nice catch. First down yardage. And he gets into Eastern View territory. But, as you pointed out, Steve, clock continues to run.
Yep. I mean, they're once it goes under a 35-point differential, then the clock would start back on its regular, then the clock stops running. But they got a long way to go. Spotsylvania does.
Ball now at the rest at the Eastern View 47, where it is 1st and 10 for Spotsylvania. This is John Ed Benton. Good hard running. That's sort of similar to what he was able to accomplish last week in larger doses.
It sure was. I mean, where was that during the first half? But we've got people in getting some playing time that normally don't see playing time, and so it's good to Coach Lowry and staff for letting those boys get some playing time, because it's just going to help them in the end.
All right, this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
And that defense doesn't want to give up this goose egg. Trust me, they want to.
Yeah, right now they've got a shutout going. They keep it on the ground here. Short pickup. Maybe about 3 yards, and this was run by number 44, Isaiah Patterson.
It's going to be a first down, Mark. They did get it.
35 to the 37. Yep, they had it at the 47. They had to get to the 37 to move the sticks, and they did. But I'll tell you, that ever-moving clock. I mean, we're under the 6-minute mark already here in the third.
We got number 40 in. That's Drew White in for Eastern View.
Well, it's really nice to pick up these new names and numbers for these players. This is a nice luxury to have when you're a team and you can put your reserve players in this early in the second half.
16, Quinn Grayson's in there too. Grayson Quinn, rather. No. Yeah, Grayson Quinn.
All right. 1st and 10, Spotsylvania. Throwing downfield, and wide open was Jefferson Paz. He's just simply overthrowing. Mason Christopher let that one get away from him.
Well, he took a hit, too. I mean, he took a solid hit right when he was throwing it. That's what happened there. I'm trying to figure out who's the
timeout taken by Spotsylvania. Well, our timeout sponsor this year is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. UVACreditUnion.org. And also this broadcast brought to you by Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book fair trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. That's Battlefield Automotive, 540-547-3673.
And, Mark, just, number 15 for Eastern View is back on as Deuce Washington. We used to call his name a lot in the running back, but he's so valuable in defense. And, he's one of them who hasn't gotten a shot at running the ball.
Well, I can see that number 22 is still in there. We know that's Brett Clatterball.
Well, you got to maintain some of your players. You just don't want to have them.
You got to keep your anchor in there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Clock now resumes running. This is John Ed Benton. Hard running down to about the 30.
He's showing a different spark here in the second half versus the first half, where he was pretty much bottled up.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that is also true that we got second string in various positions too on the field because of a running clock, and Eastern View is up 50-0.
And it's third down and about 3 here. This one a little hard to catch up with who actually had it with all the misdirection back there, Steve, but it's a short pickup. It's going to bring up a
third and about 2.
Yeah, I'll check that here.
A short 2.
Yeah, I was ahead of down. It's third down and about, a long 1, short 2. You bunch up here. Thinking run, of course. This is John Ed Benton. He did slip a tackle. Gets to the outside. First down the yardage. He's got it. And then they force him out of bounds. But I don't think that's going to stop the clock either.
Nope. Sure isn't. The clock's going to continue to run. We're going to be here pretty quickly into the fourth quarter.
Well, Steve, in all fairness, this is Spotsylvania's best-looking drive of the ball game. But they are going against a lot of reserve players here.
Well, also, they don't have a quick strike offense either.
Mm-hmm.
Like a team like King George, you go to their 2 big receivers, throw it up, go get the ball. And here, their quarterback is pretty much, he's tired. He's been worn out. I mean, he plays safety, punter, and here you're expecting to throw it. So I'm going to, like I said, now you're probably going to see Benton pretty much running the show here, getting the ball.
Well, they don't snap it to Benton. They go to one of those up backs, and let's see. For no gain, maybe a yard on the play.
And you know that defense right now that's in there, they're getting their backs stiffened up here a little bit right now because they don't want to allow Spotsylvania to score. They have pride and they want to have that goose egg. They don't want to be, showing that Spotsylvania got a score on them. So we'll see how this plays out here.
In the backfield there, number 44, Isaiah Patterson. All right, well, this is Mason Christopher. Keeps this one for yet another Spotsylvania first down. I know they wish they could have played this like this in the beginning, but it's just not really a fair comparison.
No, and like you said, a lot of the starters are getting rest right now when you're up 50-0. And Spotsylvania's trying to take advantage of it.
They've got the ball down at the 13-yard line where it's 1st and 10. John Ed Benton lost his footing for a second, and that enabled the defense to get a little closer to him and make the stop. They're going to drop Benton for a loss on the play.
Yeah, and like I said, they're doing a good job. You got to find the football, and they're playing their gaps pretty good. The thing is now, Benton's been running the short side of the field. I look for maybe Spotsylvania now to try to come back against the long side, see if they can string it out and get the corner without the pursuit of Eastern View catching up with them. Let's see.
All right, 2nd and 11. Yep. This is Patterson, the ball carrier. Straight ahead he goes. He picks up yardage. He's down just shy of the 5-yard line. It looks like maybe down at the 7. Pick up of 7 yards. Brings up to about 3rd and 4 here. Wow, down to 1:15 and counting here in the 3rd. I know it sounds like a broken record when I say it goes quickly. I mean, it really does. You look up there and you go, wow, where did it go? Here's 3rd and 4 from the 7-yard line. Going to keep it. Christopher, ball carrier. And he's in from 7 yards out. So Spotsylvania avoids the donut you alluded to earlier, Steve. They're on the board. 50-6 is our score with 52 seconds to play. And Christopher took it in from 7 yards out.
Well, they're going to go for 2 here. Well, that's not a surprise.
No, I guess not. What did we see in their kicking game last week? Do you remember when didn't they go for 2 points each time?
Yeah, they went pretty much for 2 points each time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Spotsylvania is on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but they've got to score. To get back under, they got to score now. 10 more points if they don't make this.
All right, let's check that backfield. This one is snapped to John Ed Benton. Looks like he's going to throw it. Now he does. And it's caught. And this is by Isaiah Patterson, so the 2-point conversion is successful. It's 50-8.
I think that Patterson said, look what I got. The ball ended up being there, but it's 50-8 right now. And now what you got to tell your kickoff team, watch out, they're going for an onside kick. They're going to want to go for an onside kick, so you better get your hands, people, up front.
Yeah, you see some familiar names out there. Trey Brock, Darius Stafford. Stafford's been a key return man. Trey Brock has a touchdown tonight, doesn't he?
Yep.
Cameron Hughes. Why have we not called his name here tonight?
I don't know. What's his number?
1.
Maybe he's hurt. I don't know. But look, the way they're going to line up, there's going to be you tell your up backs right there, just pounce on the ball.
All right. Kicker, Mac Robinson. It's a short one. Fair catch called and made at the 41-yard line. by
5.
number 5. Okay, that's DeMaio Hunter, should we guess?
Yeah, put your good hands, people, right there.
Yeah.
And you know he was told you're not running it.
And clock continues to run now.
Yeah.
We're down to about 25 seconds here in this third quarter.
Well, I bet you Eastern View is not going to be in any hurry right now to even start this because they're just going to maybe let this clock go out.
And they have it marked at the Eastern View 42.
Yep, they're going to.
5 seconds and counting. Let's see if they get the play off. DeMaio Hunter. Jaheem Fry, the ball carrier, tries to get the outside. Unable to do so. They're going to tackle him at the 40-yard line for a 2-yard loss. But that's how the third quarter is going to end. All right, we'll take a quick break. Come back for the fourth and final right after this. Stay tuned.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found and Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found and Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
All right, start of the fourth quarter here at Cyclone Stadium with Eastern View on offense, looking at 2nd and 13 from its own 39. We got a little confusion there in the backfield, caused the delay, and Spotsylvania able to make the stop.
It looks like number 2, Jaden Williams, is coming to the sideline.
Yep, lost a yard on the play. I think we're going to have a change back there, Steve. If the let's see if there's a change in quarterback.
No, 5. Nope, he's still there.
But I don't think he was in that last play.
You might be right.
All right, in the backfield, all right, and DeMaio Hunter's in there. Jaheem Fry's number 25. And then okay. Here it is on 3rd and 13. DeMaio Hunter throwing short of the intended target there. His number is 82. So he was trying to get it out there to Ryan Dotson. Brings up a 4th down, and I think, is this the first time we've seen Braden Capolini punt tonight?
Did he punt it on the? Oh, no.
I'm trying to remember. No.
I think you're right. I mean, he might be the first time he's punted. No, he punted once in the first quarter down here.
Okay. He's going to stand at about his own 25. And he's going to kick it. Oh, this one's blocked. This one is blocked. And it's recovered by Spotsylvania deep. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of exchange going on down there. You might want to refrain before you see some yellow laundry on the field.
Well, like I said, the clock is now it's going to start running again.
Block punt. And now let's check and see where Spotsylvania has that football.
Yeah, see, so it's what, 12-point differential between.
Thank you all for your support.
It's 42. Yeah, if they score again.
If they score again, they've got to get it down to under 35 points to get that clock back to running in regulation time.
Well, they're up 42 points now. So then 42 minus 8 from 42 is 34. So if they get a score here in 2-point conversion, goes back to a regular clock.
Spotsylvania has it at the 11-yard line. And they stack the ball carrier up after a short pickup. I believe that was number 88 for Spotsylvania, Steve. And that's the first time we've called his name as
Big
a running
boy.
back. That was Justin Coppage.
Well, they're, like I said, they're giving some reserves some active work too.
Down at the 4-yard line.
Good time to go get it.
Second down. Well, they've got some new players in that backfield. Oh, wow. And this is the same ball carrier running into
Coverage on the carry, tackled by
Coverage.
Semendinger.
Yeah, who was he tackled? I couldn't see him.
It's number 51 for Eastern View.
Was that on that hit?
It's cold out there.
Dominic
It'll be freezing
Semendinger?
tonight. The dance is tomorrow night.
Semendinger?
Yep, Semendinger, Dominic's.
I
First
hope I'm
time
not-
we've called his name.
I hope I'm doing it justice. Check the call here. Yeah, we've got some new players in that backfield for Spotsylvania. And this time, the ball carrier is, and he's in. That's number 30 for Spotsylvania. That is Dante Chevalier.
Down by
Now it
five,
makes it
going back
50 to
on
14.
50 to 14. They get, that'll still be a running clock because it's 35-point differential.
That's right. If they go for 2 here and get it, though, it'd be a 34-point differential,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yep,
Then it would go back to
it would go.
regularly running clock.
Well, they got them right now. Look at the scoreboard, doesn't have the
Timeout.
score on there.
It's 50 to 14.
Yeah, it should be 50 to 13. No, 14, you're right.
Right.
The Marching Cyclones will be doing their halftime show.
Well, it looks
after
like
the
they've
game
called the
tonight.
timeout.
Do they know?
We are in the 4th quarter, aren't we,
Yep,
Steve?
yep.
Can you
They-
believe it?
They haven't changed the score,
No. I think they're asleep at the wheel over there.
but
We'll go to Morgan.
50 to 14 is our score with 7:53. I don't care what that scoreboard says. Look, we're in the 4th quarter. We're under the 8-minute mark. And I'll tell you, this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center. Also, K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please.
Ryan Dotson, 82, is in on there.
All right, see, this is a big play in a way. I mean, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep him out, the clock still runs, but
And again, they've got some new personnel
but
back
they
in
haven't-
there.
They haven't changed the score yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they scored. They wouldn't be going for the 2-pointer here. This is number
He
24
didn't
trying to
get
get in.
He didn't get in.
All right, and let's check his name. So number 24 is Landon
Landon
Fagan.
on the,
All right, they
keeper.
stop him.
Short.
Yep.
They still haven't adjusted that score, have they?
No.
Now they're saying it's good?
Now they're saying it's good.
Wow.
Yeah, so
So that'll make it 50 to 16.
50 to
nice
16.
score.
34-point margin of a lead here by Eastern View. So I think that stops.
No, that was the touchdown. They called it earlier. They didn't get in. Now they're going for the 2-point. That's what I was wondering. I said, why didn't they switch?
Why
it?
did they do that? Yeah.
So
So if Fagan gets the touchdown, now it really is 50 to 14. Now you go for 2,
Yep.
and you got to get it here, or otherwise the clock continues to run. This is number 88.
And he didn't get it.
And he didn't get it. Okay, so it was Justin Coppage. They went to him. So the Cyclone defense holds there with our score of 50 to 14, 7:19 to play. This broadcast brought to you in part by Fountain Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons, 825-3300. 35-30. And Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. All right, Steve. Well, that was just a little bit of a confusing situation.
That was what you call a cluster bomb.
It's just been,
because we all saw the corner. We saw the official raise his hand, and we thought it was a touchdown earlier. Why did they change it on the scoreboard? But they knew more about what was going on than we did because we can't see it.
Imagine that.
We're getting old.
Well,
Fun was had by all.
Fun was had by all. Short kick, of course. Eastern View, nicely done. Takes the knee.
Continue to run now.
And that was Darius Stafford for the Cyclones. And clock continues to run. And like you say, in Eastern View, of course, take its time. No hurry to do anything at this point. Let's check our personnel, see if we have any changes out there, Steve.
54, Jimmy Waters is in there. 55, you already said it's Kanye Russell.
I see in the backfield right now, Jaheim Fry is 25. Number 2, of course, is Jaden Williams. So I don't see DeMaio Hunter in there at this point.
That's Jaden.
Right. Jaden Williams handing off. This is Jaheim Fry. Bounces it to the outside 40, lowers his shoulder. They'll tackle him just shy of the 45-yard line. Hang on. And they're going to bring in a penalty for a late hit.
It's going to be a late hit right there on the sideline. He threw him out of bounds, so that's going to be 15 yards.
All right, Steve, picking up any new players out there whose names or numbers we haven't called?
44. That's Detrez Gahagan. We've called him. 81.
Well, 81 is, Philip Tyree. We haven't called him. Here's a big mark-off against Spotsylvania.
35. We don't have a 35. I see it out there on the, it's at 25.
Oh, 25 is Jaheim Fry, yeah. All right, then mark this one off. And they're going to have it now at the Spotsylvania 40.
We have number 20, Braden Hubert.
And in that backfield is not DeMaio Hunter. Jaden Williams. Direct snap to him. Keeps it. Straight ahead he goes. Line of scrimmage was a 40. He probably picked up about 2. And that's about it. But at this point, it's about holding on to the ball.
Just hold on to the ball. Let's let the clock run. But you're not going to see too much fancy stuff right here. Also got, you said 82, Ryan Dawson. We've already said his name. But they're just going to run it up, just keep it on the ground. They're not going to be throwing it.
Line of scrimmage now, the 38. Second down and 8 for the Cyclones. Jaden Williams. Hands off, Jaheim Fry. Fry's got running room. Breaks it to the outside. Fry still on his feet as they knock him out of bounds. Oh, he's in for the touchdown from, 38 yards out?
38 yards out, Mark, and you know what that means. Shut your front doors, lock your windows. And here comes that big wind. It's a Cyclone touchdown.
Jaheim Fry. That was a good-looking run.
Yep, it sure was. I mean, he bounced off, and he had a good, he was reading where his blocks were, and he was able to out-hustle everybody to that corner, and he got in. So he's happy. That's a great run by him.
Yeah, it really was. Well, if they were thinking about stopping the clock, not going to happen now. Capolini on for the point after.
He got it.
Kick is good.
He's not getting the usual, strength behind that, but I guess because he's kicked so much today.
Tired.
His legs tired.
All right, our score, 57-14, in favor, of course, of the Cyclones.
Now, this is a big score, 57-14. But our little trivia question, what was our broadcast, what was the highest scoring game we've ever broadcast?
Was it the game against Sharando? Was it 70-some points?
74 to
29 or something?
29 like that, 74-28.
Yeah.
They were up like 74 to 8 till way late in the second half. And you didn't have running clock issues back then either. You had to play it out the whole game.
Well, the thing is that they were scoring points with their second and third. I mean, they were playing their players. I mean, and you know, it's the old adage is when you put your reserves in, you don't tell them to play half-heartedly.
No.
In fact, it's dangerous too. You got to play all out, and like you've been coached to play, and that they were just unstoppable that night with their reserves.
All right. So what year was that?
I'm thinking it was was it 90? Might want to check that.
I think it was 99. It's the 99 season.
It may have been.
The championship season. Oh, fumble.
It sure is. Well, this is Tyson Anderson on the return. He lost it. And the ball goes back to Eastern View.
And now you put all your reserves in, and some kids that haven't even played any so far this season are getting opportunities. 64. I haven't called in. That's Antonio Heredia. 52, that's Carlos Diaz. 81, we've called Philip Tyree. 25, that's Fry.
Well, is Jaden Williams the answer to the question? If the question was who would replace DeMaio Hunter if they had to? They don't have to, but right now they have because of the score. But he's in there and filling in for DeMaio Hunter, and Jaheim Fry is in there after that explosive touchdown run he had a few months ago.
And you don't blame the coach for doing that, because you don't want your season game is next Friday.
Oh, no doubt. This is Fry again. Look at that burst up the middle, spinning and making his way into the end zone from 19 yards out.
Shut the front door, lock your windows, because a storm is coming. It's a cyclone. Touchdown.
63 points.
Jaheim Fry for how many yards? 19?
Yeah. Yeah, let's check the kicker here, Steve.
35.
Yeah, it's a new kicker. Okay. I was going to say Capolini didn't try that last extra point. It's number 35. I saw a difference in stature there. And so let's pick up the number.
I don't have a 35.
Oh, well, I don't either.
The phantom kicker.
But you know what? That's kind of cool, though, that even in the kicking game, you pull your starting kicker out and you let somebody else try it.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So it's like, why not?
Well, we're not kidding when we're telling you the score. It really is what it is. It was 50-0 at the half, wasn't it?
Yep.
And now it's 64-14.
Like I said, they got 10 more points to score in how many minutes? 2 minutes. See if they can tie that record.
But I was talking about the kickers, and now number 99 is Braden Capolini's back in there to kick this one off. But that clock, wow, the ever-moving clock down to 2:25 and counting here in the fourth. But really, you're seeing Eastern View really empty its bench. Luxury position to be in, as John Ed Benton is going to return this one from about the 10-yard line. Straight ahead he goes out to about the 30.
And what's the old Don Meredith song? Good night.
Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Party's over.
They say that all good things must end. Let's call it a night. The party's over.
Call it a night.
I used to enjoy him singing that, didn't you?
Yep.
We had a great time on that Monday night.
Come back now, y'all. Come back. We'll come back for more.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Did you see the game last night between the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears? Your Chicago Bears got beat.
I did not.
12-7.
That sounds like a real humdinger of a game.
It was.
Well, Spotsylvania goes deep to its bench, running the ball straight ahead. Fighting for yardage is number 24. That is Landon Fagan. For that clock, we're down to 1 minute and 10 and counting, and we're just about done.
Yep. And, it looks like Spotsylvania. Where's that big boy in number 87 for Spotsylvania?
Jackson Dobson. Wow.
81.
Oh, 81.
You don't have it.
No. You got an 81 on Spotsylvania?
Yep.
All right. From the 45 they go now. Straight ahead, Eastern View territory, shy of the 45, down to about the 47. Well, that clock is down to 35 seconds and counting. We've got time for one, maybe two more plays before the Cyclones celebrate this huge victory at homecoming over visiting Spotsylvania.
Yeah, it looks like it's Spotsylvania. It might be, it's 71. That's who it is, not 81.
Back to the run, coming near side, trying to get the edge here. Stiff arms a defender, now at about the 35-yard line was the ball carrier there. That was Dante Chevalier. But it doesn't look like they're going to get another play off, and this one's going to be in the books. I mean, yeah, another play off before this one's in the books, and that's exactly what's just happened. We've got a final here at Cyclone Stadium, and it's 64-14 in favor of Eastern View. Steve, there's not much reason to belabor what happened because we've been calling it all along, but I know we've got the big matchup against King George next week. What are your thoughts about that one?
Well, I wish I'd be here to broadcast it, but I won't. But, you know, Chris Frazier will be filling in my spot. But, again, I'll be checking in with you during the game. But that's going to be the game of the year in the Battlefield District right now because it's going to be, you know, again, Eastern View is undefeated in the district. King George is undefeated overall and undefeated in the district. Eastern View only has that one loss to Brook Point, and that was an anomaly to me because Brook Point still isn't playing very good, and
yeah.
I just don't think Eastern View came out and wanted to play that. They didn't show up that game, but they're focused now, and they want to go down there and prove to King George that we're just as good as they are, and I expect it to be a good shootout. I really do.
All right.
I expect King George to use their two wide receivers. They're big, tall kids, and they're Division I, so it's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Steve and me tonight. So long, folks.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Son, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.